can say it's a privilege to be back in the Lord's house again.
Sure.
Thank the Lord for every opportunity He's let me to stand, no
Bless your
matter
heart
if it's
also.
a house full or a handful. It don't matter. I know Charlie done said it, but as long as the Lord shows up, that's all that
Yes,
matters.
sir.
But
It is.
as I come to church this morning up here and prayed a little while and read a little while, and I was reading over in 2 Samuel, so we're in 2
God
Samuel,
help you.
chapter 23. Before we're going to read that tonight and try to give you some encouraging words, I guess,
God help
to
you.
help us along. But 2 Samuel chapter number 23, we're going to start reading in verse 1 and go down to about verse 12. But
Bless
it
your
says,
heart, brother.
and this is the last, this in the Schofield Bible says the last words of David. So it says, but it starts out in verse 1, it says, now these be the last words of David. David the son of Jesse said, the man who was raised up on high, the anointed of God of Jacob, and the sweet psalmist of Israel said. Now, you'll have to excuse me on some of these names and stuff I'm going to read, because
Bless
I'm
your
not
heart,
very
brother.
good at it, but
Bless
that's
your
all
heart.
right. Yunz can read it too, and then Yunz can figure out what the exact saying
Sure.
of it or whatever. But it says, the Spirit of the Lord spake by me, and His word was in my tongue. And I want to say I'm thankful that the Spirit of the Lord's in me, and
Yes,
He
sir,
helps
brother.
us, and He speaks through me and lets me talk to you what He's got on my heart and what's on
That's
my
right.
mind. And that's the only way we can ever preach His word is through Him. You know,
That's
it's got to
right.
come from Him. It ain't nothing that I can look up on the internet and find, or I can go back and read and listen to some other preacher and get it from him. But I just have to give what the Lord gives me.
Sure.
So it says, the God of Israel said, the rock of it says, the God of Israel
Well,
said, the rock of Israel spake to me. He is the ruler over men. Must be just, ruling in fear of God. He shall be as a light of the morning when the sun rises, even a morning without clouds, as a tender grass springing out of the earth by clear shining after rain. It says, although my house be not so with God, yet after hath made me an everlasting covenant ordering all things, and sure, for this is my all my salvation and all my desire, all through.
God help.
He make it not to grow, but the son of Belial shall be all them as thorns thrust away, because they cannot be taken with hands. But the man that shall touch them must be fenced with iron, and the staff of a spear, and they shall utterly burn with fire in the same place. And this goes on talking about David's mighty men here, and this is where we're going to try to get some help from tonight.
Bless your heart, brother.
It says, these be the names of the mighty men whom David had, the Techelmite that sat at the seat, chief among the captains. The same was Adino, the Izanite. He lifted up his spear against the 800 whom he slew at one time. It says, and after him was Elzor, the son of Dodo, the Hittite, and one of the three mighty men with David, when they defeated the Philistines that were there, gathered together to battle, and the men of Israel were gone away. And it says, and he arose and smote the Philistine until his hands were weary, and his hand clave unto the sword. But this is what it is. It says, and the Lord wrought a great victory that day, and the people returned after him only to spoil. And it's going down here. It says, and after him the Shemana the son of Agi, the Herite, and the Philistines were gathered together into a troop where was a piece of ground full of Lentites, and the people fled from the Philistines. And it says, but he stood in the midst of the ground
God help.
and defeated it and slew the Philistines, and the Lord wrought a great victory.
Yes.
And I got to thinking about a
God
great
help.
victory and how the Lord has fought a bunch of
Sure.
fights for us, and He's always come out victorious. So
Sure.
and I got to thinking about how great victories, and all through the Bible, you can go back through the Bible, and everywhere the Lord's been, there's always been a great victory when He's around. And you know what? That's one thing I'm glad about is I've got this fight we're fighting right now. We're going to come out with
Yes,
a great
sir.
victory because we got the Lord on our side. And I got to think about this morning. I was reading to my young'uns about the crucifixion of Jesus, Easter coming up next Sunday, And then, well, my, what a victory that was,
Yes,
you know,
sir.
whenever he come out of the grave, you know, and how he bled and died for me, you know, how I got saved, and that was a great victory, you know,
Bless your
and
heart
him
off.
just to come to by my way and convicted my heart, and how I accepted him, that was a great victory, you know, when there's only through and by him that I can ever do anything, you know, and how there's great victories and everything, as long as you've got Jesus in your heart, you know, in your life, and I got to thinking, you know, how like I said, all through the Bible, there's been great victories, and you know, I'm nothing in this, and I can't. But God's give us a great victory, you know, to get out of ourselves and get out of our shell, and you know, I got to think about the night I announced my call to preach. You know, that was a great victory for me to ever stand up. You know, with God in my heart, and to ever just say what I said that night. You know. And I know it was a burden on Charlie because I tried to talk to him for a long time, and I'd mentioned some things to him, and I just tried to, you know, ignore it. He said, "Well, I'm gonna tell you," he said, "if you can run as long as you can." And that night he got up and he started preaching. I got mad at him in my flesh.
Bless your heart
and
off.
I thought, my, you know, that was a great victory that God sent that message to me that night, and how he brought me out of that misery that I was in. And you know, whenever the Lord was dealing with me to preach, it wasn't just every day, you know, for a while, it was just every now and then. And then it just come, you know, it's just all I could think about all the time. And I'd lay down at night and I'd sleep on it and I'd get defeated, you know. But my, what a great victory it was that night. You know, I got up and how it was a relief off my chest, and how I could lay down and sleep at night and not worry about, you know, somebody saying something. But you know what? There's a great victory in Jesus tonight. There's a great victory in Him tomorrow. There's going to be great victory in Him. But you know, always one of these days, whenever He's going to bust open the clouds, it's going to be a great victory, you know, for us that's saved, born again, you know, ready to die. And I'm ready to die tonight. You know, I was thinking after Wednesday, I was riding down the road working. And I got to thinking, I thought, Lord, if I could just call you or just see you on the phone, you know, I got thinking if I could just talk to the Lord, you know, just to hear His voice coming. But He come in that truck, and boy, what a great victory that was, you know. He come by in that truck, and I preached my way all the way out of Pensacola that day, you know, just this week, you know, He come by, and you know what a great victory it is to know that I serve a God, you know, that's always going to be there for me, and that's always going to take me on to the next step, you know, whatever it might be. I know that I'm not much of a preacher, but you know, I can only do what the Lord has me to do. You know, I feel like in myself, I get defeated and I get beat myself up a lot of times, you know. But it's a great victory, you know, to stand up here and, you know, let the devil know he ain't got a hold of me, you know. But it's a great victory for the Lord, you know, whenever he comes by, you know, the Bible tells us our spirit is will, our flesh is weak, you know, and when our spirit's willing, you know, that's a lot of things. My flesh is weak tonight, you know. I'll beat myself up. I no doubt I will over tonight, but you know what? There's still a great victory because it's all through and by Him, you know, tonight that it's going to go out and it's going to reach a people, you know, that might be needing something, you know. And no matter what you're facing, I preached on the radio, I believe, here a while back about how the Lord said He'd never leave us nor forsake us, you know. And what a great victory to know that's in our life, you know, in our heart, that He said that, you know. He said He'd never leave us nor forsake us, and what a victory we have to know that that's the way it's going to be. But that's about the message tonight. You know, I know it ain't very long, and I know I might have messed these names up. That's all right. It's a great victory, you know, that I've got the Lord on my side. You know, if you ain't got Him on your side, no Jack done said it. But you need to find your way to bow down and ask the Lord to save you, because you know what? You're going to have great victory over some things then. You know, you're going to get the devil out of your life and move Jesus in. You know, that's a great victory. And that's the most important thing you could ever do, is to have Jesus in your life and in your heart. But that's the message tonight, and I hope it's a help to somebody.
That's good, brother.
It's been a help to me today to think on what a great victory and you know what Jesus done for me. You know, it's a great victory. You know, and I hope it's a help to you. And I know it ain't much, and I know it ain't long, but
good, brother.
That's what the Lord gave me, and I hope it's a help to you.
Wonderful. Bless your heart.